Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Al Gore, you're live.
How's it going?
How's it going? Do you want me to just go jump into it?
No, I don't. because
that's what I'm saying. Don't even ask me how's it going.
I won't even ask you.
I need you to tell me about
BIM Smith.
Yeah,
is a place where if you want. So there was a change in thought process when we went from AutoCAD to Revit, and that was we're going to go from lines to components that flex. And then wall-based systems, floor-based systems, basically a systems approach. Now, BIM Smith is the one that aligns with that vision the best because a lot of other websites are great, but they're all the components from the manufacturer. But what do you build? If you're an architect, what are you actually designing? Walls, floors, ceiling assemblies, and that's what BIM Smith allows you to do, is take those manufacturers' information, put it into an assembly of the stuff that you're actually creating, save that, because it's free and you can have an account, and then use that in your project. So go check out BIM Smith. Really cool stuff. I think they're aligning with what Revit is actually used for. You can get spec sheets. You can do a whole bunch of cool stuff. So go check that out. Now, Lance, how's it going? You got your construction vest on?
Lance the contractor.
Yeah, contractor Lance.
The mother contractor.
Nice
Al the architect.
Yeah.
You see that self-censorship? You hear that? You hear that beep? You hear that beep?
Cayko, architect Al.
I got a riddle for you.
Okay.
What does a hall monitor become when they grow up?
I already know the answer to this.
What is the answer?
A building inspector?
A building inspector. That's exactly what a hall monitor becomes when they come. Get this. Honestly, we all Lance is preaching all the time about how great it is to be as an architect, as developer, architect, as contractor. And it is in a lot of ways, and there's actually a little segment we'll talk about later. But one thing that I thought we would avoid is having to do like engineer letters, or that the building inspectors would just be a little bit more trusting of like, look, this guy's the architect, plus he's the developer, plus he's the contractor. Yeah. They don't give a shit. So we failed shear inspection today, and this is why. Our building plans sailed through the building department. They went through in 45 days. And they did. Yeah. They flew.
No,
through.
I'm almost saying it seemed quicker than that.
It was quicker than usual, and part of it was because we think we had so much pressure on them, and we're just on top of them through the whole process with site plan review. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They passed through, right? Fully stamped drawings. They're on the job site. And we never showed a shear diagram, right? Yeah. So we never showed how the sheathing is supposed to be applied to the building. Well, that's because I'm the builder. I know how it's going to be done. And I specifically instructed the framers, who have been fantastic, to do this in a certain way. We are actually, and then the nailing pattern is supposed to be 12 inches in the field, inside, and 4 inches on the seams. Dude, we're double that. The amount of nails we have in this frickin' building is insane.
Do we have our nailing pattern on our sheets?
It's not on the drawings.
The nailing pattern.
The nailing pattern is not on the drawings. Okay. We looked through all of them. We looked at the general notes for the structural portion of it. There was one note about sheathing. All it says is, it was like this stupid generic thing that didn't even matter.
Because normally that's how we're covered, is that nailing pattern.
Boom. We did not have it on these drawings, right? Mm. And I had our engineer write 9 letters for each unit ahead of time to say. So I was hoping like, oh, you don't like what you see? Okay, great. Here's the engineer. He said everything's fine.
Yep.
Because he's been out there twice. One time you've been out there with him.
Yeah.
And because we've made adjustments, and we wanted to make sure we passed on the first shot, right? Yeah. So on the one hand, I have this set of drawings that has passed through the building department. Yeah. They're like, go build. Make it happen. Get it done. If you build according to these plans, right, that's the idea that we've approved, you should be able to finish your building, get your certificate of occupancy, sell it, be done.
Yep.
Then I have this building inspector, on the other hand, comes out and says, well, it's not on the drawings. Well, who gives a shit, guy? They were approved through the building department.
Yeah.
So now I have to have our engineer write another letter, comprehensive letter that shows the diagrams that weren't on the drawings that were approved through the building department.
Yeah.
And some extra details, all because of this. And rant.
Rent?
Rant.
Oh, rant. Gotcha. Besides that, what else? Anything else? Honestly, like, did he say, "Oh, I can't"? You missed a column here.
You know what he said?
What?
He goes, "I don't give a shit if your engineer says to super glue this. That's all I need to know is how he wants the sheathing to be applied." Okay. I go, okay, then mark us down for Monday.
Yeah.
And I will see you back on site on Monday.
Yep. You've probably already talked to our engineer.
Yes. I actually need to, as soon as we get done podcasting, I need to email him and give him a very specific list. And I'm literally going to copy and paste. I'm going to attach, I'm going to export our typical details and just give them to him and say, this is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Basically,
copy and paste it, put it on the letter, put it on your letterhead, stamp it, get done with it. Because I even went so I took my tape measure and, walked around the building with the guy and I go, look, we are double the standard nailing pattern according to code. I go, we're double. I go, I'm telling you, Lance Cayko, Longmont's, one of Longmont's largest architects, developer, community member, builder of the community, is not here to build crap buildings. We're here to do good stuff that lasts for 100 years.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to him.
No.
You know what he did admit, though, which is great? He goes, I envy guys like you. I don't have a business sense. That's why I'm a building inspector.
Oh. Look at that. How besides that, I know that's your craw.
You know what's been awesome?
Like, showed up, was it like, hey, I'm Lance Cayko. I'm building inspector Bob. That's his name. Probably should have used his name.
Fine, Al. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. I was fine. I'll tell you what I'm really happy about, though. I'm happy about we are ahead of schedule. They already have one roof done. They just loaded the materials yesterday. I met with the HVAC folks again today, and we went over a few things. The guy and I'll jump to the next segment. And the next segment, and we can go back, is how to be a good contractor. So if you're ever going to take this leap from architect to builder / developer, I have some tips for you. And honestly, the number one tip is if your workforce is largely Hispanic and Latino, learn some freaking Spanish.
That's nice.
Learn some Spanish and joke with them about it, and have that kind of camaraderie about it. My concrete crew and my framers are the same crew. And actually now they're going to be our siding crew and our doors. They kind of do all general construction.
Yep.
And they have told me we don't want to work. They have come up to me like so graciously and said, I'm not, it was just like the coolest thing. And they were like, we only want to work with you now.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, why? And they're like, we like coming to work. We have fun here. Everything, it's a fun time. Like, they're playing music, they're dancing around. Seriously.
Yeah.
And it's a great work environment. And they say like, and they go, we like that you're the architect and the builder because you just know all the answers. Yeah. Because, these guys, if they bid it on a fixed fee, okay, they want to get it done as quick as possible. Then obviously they make more money that way, right? And they can move on to the next job. It's been seamless like that. But it goes not just like, okay, but like our plumbers are Caucasian, right? So they're not Latino. So how do you connect with those people? Well, I think, architects who have these Korb glasses on and are capital A architects. I'm serious. I'm talking. There's some people out there listening to you right now. You got to get off that pedestal if you're going to be the contractor, and you need to step into be a chameleon a little bit and step into that realm of those type of people and be able to connect with those people too. Just at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all people. We're all individually equal, right? Yep. That's the idea behind America.
And here's why you need to do that. And you might not think it's a big deal. Hey, it's a part of your aesthetic, all that. We were on the job site. You were with me back in college. And it was a class. The professor took us there, and the architect was there, and the main contractor was there. And it's probably like a $5 million building. And the architect gets up there and he goes, as architect, you're basically God of the site. And he said that.
Horrible.
And because we were watching all of them, the contractor was sitting right next to him, standing. And he just rolled his eyes, and you could just tell like he was just disgusted by that statement. Like, what are you talking about? Even
you know why?
Like even like I could see just fine in your head. Like, well, you do know everything. Like Lance, architect, I have all the answers, all that stuff. That's not the way to approach it. Like, you're here to, as the architect and the contractor, because the contractor is the one not doing the physical work. You are here to help them do their job.
Yeah,
you're there to help.
The HVAC. So back to the meeting with the HVAC subs today. The lead, their superintendent. His name is Jack. He's an awesome guy. I shake his hand every time I go up to him. Big old meaty hand, Jack, man. And he's asked me for the gate code several times. He keeps forgetting and all this other stuff. Anyway, we go up on the second floor of the east building, and you'll see it when we get out there. We had to widen the soffit. It actually worked out really nicely. You'll see. You'll see. I'll show you, and
sure.
I'm trying to reassure you it's not a bad thing. So he's all nervous. I could tell. And he goes, well, I caught a problem, and I don't think you're going to like it. I'm like, well, maybe not. I don't know. And so we go up and look at it, and he goes, yeah, well, we can have him do this, and this. And I go, what if we just leave it and we just make a bigger soffit? And he's just like, I wish you could see my face, but he's just like,
what level?
Second level.
Okay.
And he was just like struck. He was like, well, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, look, it'll even line up nicely architecturally and everything like that. And, and he goes, you're the architect too, right? I'm like, yeah, the architect and also the contractor. Yeah. He goes, man, whenever we deal with other ones, he's like, it's just horrible. It's just like, they're just, and he used a swear word, right? Starts with a C.
Yeah.
And said that, and he goes, you are one of the easiest people to work with. And Al, that's got to be a surprise to you, right? Because sometimes I'm very difficult to work with, right?
Oh, yeah.
But like on this job, but what I told him is I go, hey, I know I've been on all three sides of this thing, as the developer, as the architect, as the contractor. And I have a lot of empathy for everybody in between, but especially the tradesmen. The tradesmen are out there every single day, and this is the big point: is they're literally risking their lives to build your buildings. I'm not joking. It is insanely dangerous work, right? Mm-hmm. They're up on scaffoldings, they're up on the roof, they're working with heavy machinery. They might not make it home to their wife. That's just the way it is. So have some empathy with these people and try to be flexible and see how you can troubleshoot on site. And not come down to their level, but get on their level, whatever that means, as far as just being a person to them and not trying to be a construction god, because that's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, the advice about learning a language, what's great about today's age is that if you have an iPad, there's apps. I mean, an iPhone or an Android. Oh. So you don't need it's not like you're going back to school. That's not what Lance is saying. You get an app, you learn some stuff. That's
what was the one I was using again? Do you remember what it was called?
I want to say something lingo, but
Duolingo.
There you go.
Do what I did if you go back to maybe the first 30, 40 episodes, what I was doing was I was doing two things in the morning. First, I would wake up, and the very first thing I would do is I would do a half hour of Duolingo, and I would do Spanish. And then the second thing I would do is I read through the whole IBC, which is super, super helpful. Which
I love it.
Al started to do that.
Yep.
It sounds boring, but no, just love it. Learn to love it. Learn to love it.
Exactly. I'm only doing it every Monday because I'm doing other stuff, but I think it's awesome.
It is awesome. But I'm telling you, that Duolingo, it's so helpful. I don't have really good Spanish at all. But it's enough to connect with them and make jokes, and that you can tell that just kind of breaks down this whole barrier, especially as how politicized things are right now. These are genuinely beautiful human beings that if you can connect with them, man, then they're happy to risk their lives for you and get the job done.
Yeah. I love all this. I think this is great. How can we connect more with the building officials so that they're on our side?
Oh, man.
I don't think there's an answer. But you know what I mean? There's all these small moves.
I'll tell you one. I'll give you one. Is whatever they want, you do it. Honestly. And try not to put up with a fight. And here's one example so far that we've ran up on. So the first example is when we were trenching for the water lines into the building. This is the superintendent for the public waterworks here was on site because if you screw up a water line, big problems. That's a huge problem. You're affecting hundreds of people's lives, especially where our development is, because there's big complex across the street. But he comes out there and he's looking at It was very muddy. We were going in and out of the site, and our traction pad was wearing down and stuff. And we had mud on the street, right? And that's a stormwater issue, right? Because you don't want all this sedimentary stuff going into the stormwater, clogging it up, causing bigger problems. And he goes, you need to get some erosion control socks out here. And you remember I sent Jackson right away in the morning. And by the time we got out there in the afternoon, we brought the erosion socks and put them on site. And he goes, I like you. I like you. And he goes, you're just on it. Yeah. He's like, most contractors, they just fight me. I think that's the key. So I'm complaining about this building inspector, but it's not. I'm actually not complaining about this building inspector.
You had to get it off your chest.
What it is I'm complaining about the nonsense bureaucracy. Like, I just can't get. I'm like, so you approve these plans, but then this guy wants something else on the plans, but he's not part of the plans approval process. Okay, whatever. We'll get the letters done. I'm going to have a nice Coke and a smile on Monday, and we're going to get through sheeting inspection. Look, we're not behind. Yeah. Again, I'm very happy. Like, we seem to be ahead of the schedule. We're good.
Yeah, a Coke and a smile?
Coke and a smile.
Is that a saying?
Coca-Cola. Yeah, you've never heard that? Have a Coke and a smile.
Oh, I like it. Even
though I don't drink pop.
Yeah. But what I was asking for is, like, is that the only thing, and then that framing inspection is done? Like, it's just
the sheathing inspection. Yeah.
Sheathing.
So then we can cover the whole outside of the building. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome. If you want to meet this peach of a person that is Lance Cayko, he is going to AIA. Tell me what you're doing there. Tell me what you have, Mark. Mark's one of the, we'll call him a producer here. He put some stuff together. He's going to be out there helping you run the show out at AIA. What's your plan?
So what we're doing is we're flying in on Thursday. It'll be me, my wife, who's my assistant now for the podcast, and Mark, who's my other assistant for the podcast. And so what we are is we're going as press. And we would love, if you want to be interviewed for 10 to 15 minutes and be on the Inside the Verb podcast, you just email lmc@f9productions.com, lmc@f9productions.com. I will interview. Seriously. Yeah. If you want to do it, let's talk. Let's talk for 10 to 15 minutes. So what we do is we have on the half hour, starting on Friday morning. Friday morning. We fly in Wednesday. So starting on Thursday morning, going into Friday and Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. each day because I'm sleeping in. I'm doing that. Okay.
What time does it start?
So it starts at 8 on the expo floors where we'll be. Okay. And if you're looking for us, we will be booth. 1 second here. Let me see if I can pull it up again. We are booth 5735. We'll be in the ArcCat booth. It'll be me, Mark LePage from the Entre Architect podcast, Evan Troxel from Archispeak.
Yep.
And we're going to be, so on one special thing we're going to do is we are going to, let's see here, where's Mark's email? We're going to do from 12 to 3 on Friday. Anybody can come join us, and we'll do 15-minute segments to talk about anything they're promoting or wanting to share. It's just going to be like a round table. So get in touch with me, lmc@f9productions.com, if you're interested in on the Friday, which is if the AIA conference, was that June? Let me get the calendar up. That'll be June 7th. If you want to talk with us, email me. If you want to talk with me outside of that and just be an exclusive on the Inside the Firm podcast, I'd love to talk with you. So lmc@f9productions.com. Send me a headshot. Send me your bio. And that's all I need. And then I'm going to just research you and your firm a little bit or whatever you do. And then we'll chit-chat.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. It's going to be fun. And then my wife has all these fun activities scheduled at night. It's Vegas.
Nice. That sounds great.
Oh, Nick Renard is going to be joining.
He'll be walking around.
He's
giving out high fives. I heard he's going to wear a white suit.
Not only is he going to be walking around in a white suit giving high five constantly, towering over everybody with his height.
Yep.
He and I are gonna be doing a special little podcast, little besties podcast without Al.
Yo, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
It's gonna be called #ShutUpAl.
I love it. I was driving around from job site to job site doing stuff, and like I've got so many texts and stuff, and it was just crazy. You, Nick, and Maddie P harassing me. I love it.
Good stuff.
And then so that's great. People should look forward to that.
Tell me about, what is this? Al's got a note here. Tell me about repeating ourselves.
What do you mean? Where? Oh.
How much should you repeat yourself? I don't know. That's a good question. If it's my kids, once. That's it. I'm only going to repeat myself one time, children.
Yeah, that's nice. So I was at a project meeting yesterday. This was what I was running around with. And last week we had a meeting. We the engineers, there's multiple different types, but these engineers we talked about, hey, we want you to, we talked about the interiors, right? And then all of a sudden they come to this meeting and we go, okay, we were done talking about what we were talking about. We said, what do you got for us? Because we scheduled for them to come talk about the interiors. And they start talking about the exteriors. And they start talking about like the lobby. And then finally I'm like, I think, I don't know if I miscommunicated this, but like we want to talk about the units, like what you have designed for the units. And they had the units designed like a quarter design, like a barely schematic. And what I wanted to talk to you about, or maybe just flesh out, is like I hear a lot of people say for leaders you got to repeat yourself so much so that like they almost say that you're repeating yourself too much. I almost think it's babying. Like for me to say at the end of the meeting, because we did kind of sum up, hey, we just talked a half hour about interiors. Next meeting you're going to come and we're going to discuss that.
I'm sorry.
Say it again.
I know.
It again.
I know.
Say it again.
It's just herding cats all day. It's like our plumbers. I feel like I love them. I love our plumbers. Seriously, like the guy who's doing all the underground stuff. He's great. He's just I sit there and bullshit with the guy for a while, and he's a good guy. But man, the way he tries to reassure me about how we're moving ahead is he tells me what he's gonna do, and I'm like, yeah, I know you're gonna do that. I just kind of want you to do it. Just stay on task.
Yeah,
stay on task. Yeah. So how much so I don't know. Was it a rhetorical question or was it real?
I just was fishing out a story, and my conclusion is that the next meeting, when we start the meeting, just to restate, okay, we're here to talk about the interiors. Blank engineer, what do you let us know what you got. And just like, because we did pivot to that, but so you could say, hey, set up the meeting better. I think at the beginning of the meeting, I just have to recap what we're supposed to be talking about, which seems logical, but they were only there. I mean, like, to me, it was obvious, like, we're only here for one reason.
You know what corporate firms do? And this goes, it's not only corporate firms, but like political action committees or any kind of like board, any kind of formal board.
Yeah.
They have an agenda. Maybe send out an agenda ahead of time. Literally give them 3 days notice or a week's notice and say, hey guys, here's a preliminary agenda that I have set up. And then what you do is you also the way you can control a meeting is you say, we only have an hour. Yep. Agenda item A, 5 minutes. Agenda item B, 15 minutes. Agenda item C, 16. I mean, I get that that's a little anal.
Yeah.
But what about that? And then you say, like, hey, look, I'm going to send it out on Monday. You have till Wednesday to make your comments, and Friday we have the meeting. Done.
Yep. I like it.
Especially with you're doing the biggest projects in the firm.
Yeah.
So
I just want to balance that with, like, I don't know, humanity.
Totally fair. Yeah. Well, what do we got next? Oh, man. I hear from a guy in a white suit. That's what I hear we're talking about next.
Well, no.
No?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's listen to our bestie.
All right. Here we go. Nick Reed's reading from a white suit.
Hello, best friends. I hope you all had a great week this week. A short reading. The beauty is that architecture not only allows you to dream stuff up, it allows you to alter the facts. You can turn pure fiction into hard facts. Bjarke Ingels, hot to cold. Lance, 3 weeks. Hashtag, shut up, Al. Did you see our AIA national takeover yesterday? If not, I'm reposting to my Instagram and Facebook story today. The site visits in the morning had a man in black dancing somewhere in the scene. But what song put that pep in his step? Alexa, play You Make Me Feel Like Dancing by Leo Sayer. Toodles!
So did he? Sorry, something came in. Bjark Ingels said that you can make like ideas into facts into stone. That's I love that quote.
We need Nick. I want more big. I want more small reads from big.
There we go.
I'm demanding it. I'm demanding it. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, super cool. For anybody who doesn't know, Nick Renard took over AIA's Instagram yesterday. It would have been May 16th when he took it over.
Yep.
You should go check him out. Give him a follow.
Awesome stuff. So with that, let's go with our Inside the Firm best friends, and play A.R.E. Jeopardy.
All right. Alcor's ready.
All right. According to Chapter 11, Accessibility in the IBC 2015, areas less than blank square feet and less than blank, two-parter, inches above or below grade can be exempt from accessible requirements if the change is essential to the function of the space, right? So A, 100 square feet and 7 inches. B, 300 square feet and 7 inches. C, 500 square feet and 4 inches. D, 250 square feet and 4 inches. Nice. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Show them D, C, B, B, A. It is B. It is 300 square feet and 7 inches. So just think about that. Sometimes like grades are different and you have height issues and there's a little part that needs to be up. I think maybe that came into one of your projects a while ago. Second question. What is the biggest risk in delaying the project's critical design path? Right? A, document producing time. B, client decision making. C, city response time. D, contractor pricing estimates.
Oh, I have my biased answer.
All right.
Everybody knows what that is.
All right. What is the biggest risk in delaying the project's design critical path? A, document production time. B, client decision making. C, city response time. D, contractor pricing estimate. Don't let your prejudices fool you. Okay, B, B, C, B, B. It is B, client decision making. Because the city, you should be they will tell you how long it's going to take. Then you should plan for 1 or 2 weeks longer than that.
Yep.
But clients, you cannot.
Cats.
You can't. Yep. So did everyone get that besides? And then who got the last one? Okay. Got it.
What do we got for a score?
We got a two-way tie.
Two-way
now.
Two-way tie. Okay, two-way tie. With both win.
Yep.
Yep.
Other people can come back, though.
All right, here we go. Number 3, what term best describes... Number 3, what term best describes a bolted joint which has 2 shearing planes through the bolts? A, bolted joint. B, double shear. C, shear joint. D, double bolted shear joint. What do you need? Any of those again? Just the answers. A, bolted joint. B, double shear. C, shear joint. D, double bolted shear joint. Tricky.
Right here's a little bit.
Tricky. We have...
So B...
Is that a B? Okay. We have a B.
C.
We have a C. We have a B.
C, C.
The correct answer is B.
So, whoa.
We have a comeback?
Well, he's in the lead.
We got a leader? We got one leader now?
We only have one person that can come back if he gets it wrong. Who? Look at that.
Yeah, he got it right. 2 can come back. All right. Don't call it a comeback. He's always been here. Number 4. What is used to measure the stiffness or resistance to deflection in a beam? A, rotation of moment. B, moment of inertia. C, reaction stiffness. D, stiffness measurement. Tell me if you need those repeated. The whole thing? Okay, just the answers. A, rotation of moment. B, moment of inertia. C, reaction stiffness. D, stiffness measurement. We have structures is the best. D, C, C, B, and A. The correct answer is B.
Wow. Nice. Jason wins.
Winner!
And B is moment of inertia.
I thought he just came back.
Oh, you just came back.
Did he tie then? Do we have a tie?
We have a
Two-way tie?
two-way tie.
Two-way tie. All right.
Okay.
We'll be back with a tiebreaker. Okay, friendly reminder, the tiebreaker is going to come down to whoever writes down the answer the fastest, holds up the correct one the fastest, and this is a one-word answer, okay? So here we go. The speed with which seismic waves move in a given direction in inches or centimeters per second is known as... The speed with which... the first answer is frequency, which is incorrect. The second answer is sine wave, which is incorrect. The third answer is amplitude, which is also incorrect. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so this is a two-word answer. A structural system consisting of spaced members solidly sheathed on one or both sides in which the sheathing forms the flanges and resist flexure, while the spaced members comprise the webs and resist shear. I'll repeat it. A structural system consisting of spaced members solidly sheathed on one or both sides in which the sheathing forms the flanges and resists the flexure, while the spaced members comprise the webs and resist shear. No one is going to get this. The first answer, stud framing. Close. Sort of, I guess. Not really. I don't know. Second answer, space frame. Nope. Fourth answer, shear wall. Incorrect. And everybody else giving up. The correct answer was stressed skin.
Never heard of that.
Yeah,
I am an architect.
Exactly. You are an architect. Al the architect, absolutely. That's not a good one. What do we got next? I'll be right back. All right, this one you guys should get it. If you don't, I don't know. A jointed structure designed to support vertical or horizontal loads and composed generally of straight members forming a number of triangles. They're writing. First answer is truss. It is correct.
Bam! Awesome.
Is that the winner?
That's the winner right
Fantastic.
there. He gets it. So
Al, what do you got for us?
All I have is if you want to learn Revit, go to RevitRocketship.com. Check that out. It's guaranteed. It's by Lance and myself. I think mainly me. I can't remember if you were in
Mainly Al Gore's beautiful golden voice.
Yep. So you will love it. Learn Revit there. RevitRocketship.com.
You know what? Since we started with such a negative rant, I'm going to end with a positive one. So I have a little poem to read to everybody, okay? Drink it and stop complaining. Muscle is created by repeatedly lifting things that have been designed to weigh us down. So when your shoulders feel heavy, stand up straight and lift your chin. Call it exercise. When the world crumbles around you, you have to look at all the wreckage and then build a new one out of the pieces that are still there. Remember, you are still here. The human heart beats approximately 4,000 times per hour. Each pulse, each throb, each palpitation is a trophy engraved with the words, "You are still alive. You are still alive. Act like it." By Rudy Francisco. Talk to you next week.